What's going on? Sorry, I probably look kind of bad because I went to sleep super early yesterday. Yeah, and I pretty much slept for 12 hours basically. Not originally, because I woke up in the middle of the night, the same times I've been waking up, starving, and then I woke up again, and then I did something, and then I went back to sleep again. Ridiculous, yeah. So I pretty much was down forever, and I'm making this video as a warning or just an alert, and because it's happened to me, and I just wanted to basically make a warning. Hey, so I was vegan for 2 years, and sorry, a bunch of people are waving to me, but I was vegan for 2 years, and pretty much all my life to some extent, because we're all fed plant-based. Everyone talks about whole food, plant-based, whatever. Most of us are plant-based our whole entire lives, whether you know it or not. So going vegan, it's more detrimental than you know. I don't care if there's people out there saying they're thriving as a vegan, and maybe they are, and I have nothing against those people, but I'm just speaking on my own behalf, and I thought I'd let you know, because it's actually been the worst experience of my life, and I don't feel good at all. Every day's been hell, and as much as, I've been eating meat and stuff, this is why I've been eating all my foods raw, how I got into it, but now I'm eating raw meat, and I've been doing this for a period of time. Still don't feel better, but I feel a little bit better, and I'm just listening to my instincts, and pretty much all I want is meat. And I'm not saying this out of spite or necessarily that I even like it, because I don't even like the taste of anything, and I realize food is not for taste, and it never will be. People who think food for taste, the food is for taste, it's just purely entertainment, and pretty much nothing more. And I wanted to come out and say this because I don't want anyone going down the path that I went, and of course everyone's different, but so I was vegan for 2 years, and yeah, first it was all right, a year and a half of it, but I was spending so much time cooking, ridiculous, and eating all these foreign foods that I'd never heard of, going to stores, whether it was expensive or not, that's hard to say, not necessarily that expensive, but buying all this food, spending all this time cooking, cooking, washing the dishes, eating the food, it's up to 2 hours for a freaking meal. Of course, you can cut that time in half and do this and that, sure, whatever, but on average it was two times 2 hours, 3 times a day. And and at one point I came to the conclusion I don't want to eat out anymore. I wanted to make all my food, and I did make all my food. I got to that point, and I ate a whole array of foods. But then eventually I was getting to the point where I was sick of these foods. I was sick of tasting them, and this is before I knew about taste and raw foods or anything really. Of course, I had some salads, but I actually really liked those when I did eat those, because I felt alive, really alive when I ate them. So I kept eating this way, and then I just got sick of eating all this food. I was just using the same condiments for different foods, and it just got really tired. I would eat something and be hungry 30 minutes later. Whatever it was. And I even had this problem though, when I had this problem all my life though, but that's why I eat raw, and that's why I eat even the raw meat, because it's the most healing food, and it pretty much digests perfect. It's ridiculous that I'm not going to get bloating if I eat raw meat. I'm not going to get acid reflux, but I really haven't had that. And I don't have like no side effects when I eat it, like literally none. There's no side effects of eating it. There just is none. And I'm not saying I even had side effects before, but the thing was, I would eat protein-rich meals, beans, 3 times a day, and I'd feel like I'm starving. I'd feel like I'm starving at the end of the day. Every night I went to sleep starving, like, and I had no energy to get up. I didn't want to eat this late at night. I was just fucking starving, and I didn't want to go make food, then eat it, and use all this time. And I would go to sleep starving, and I would roll next in like the middle of the night. I was awful sleep. I'd roll on my stomach, be fucking like laying on my stomach, and it's bullshit. You know what I mean? I was fine emotionally before. I got fucking so sick, and that's why I wanted to say. I know I didn't say at the beginning. Chronic fatigue syndrome, adrenal fatigue. You will definitely, most likely, get it from this. I don't care how much amount of food you eat. It's bullshit. I was eating a bunch of food. You know what I mean? In volume, I was eating more food than almost ever, to an extent. I was just eating more food in volume, but the thing is, I was still starving. Like literally, I was even more hungry than I ever was before. All my life, I had a problem where I would always eat more than everybody. My max weight was 180. I used to eat way more than freaking anybody. And that was my max weight, and I wasn't always there. And I never really cared about weight necessarily. But that was just to give you an inference, because people who were 220, because my brother was like 220 at the time, and even people I was around, they know, I could even make a video going to interview these people. They know how much food I fucking ate, and it was, you know, of course it was more so plant-based, but I was eating meat, of course, before I was vegan, and I still was hungry. Like I even remember when I was a little kid, I went to my neighbors. I was probably like 10 to 12. They made like a box of fish sticks. You probably know those Encore, or those fucking fake ass fish sticks. Basically, they're real, but they're genetically modified starch in them with the breading. And they would make like a whole box, and usually feed 2 to 3 people. I would eat the whole box and still be hungry for another box. And every time, my whole entire life, everyone would look at me because I would eat so much more than everybody else, and I'm not even as big as them. And I'm not saying I am as big as them, nor do I want to be. And it wasn't like some factor. I was just never felt full. And this is not a thyroid problem. This is none of this nonsense. This is a freaking hunger problem. And another thing was, I've always worked out and stuff. You could say I'm an athlete, but I always ate more than everybody else. Always, 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 always. And just always ate more than people who weigh more than me. I'm not saying I eat the most, but it doesn't make sense that I'm eating all this vegan food and feel like I have chronic fatigue syndrome basically now. I'm feeling a little bit better, like calmer, but my adrenals are just pumping 24/7, like constantly, and they're releasing cortisol 24/7. And if I want to kill myself, and still do some days, I feel like absolutely shit every second. It's the worst thing I've ever experienced in my entire life. No one knew nothing. No one knew shit. When you go vegan and shit, they don't tell you nothing, especially when you watch something as Cowspiracy or something along those lines. They have no clue about nutrition. They don't know nothing. They're just spewing random things that they so-call facts, and somewhat that they're making imaginary scientific evidence. It's a bunch of lies, all of it. And I'm not even sure if it's even healthy to do, or if I even believe in it at all. I don't want to go against completely something, but like I can't even think straight. And that happens when you get adrenal fatigue. Then you have excessive thinking. I've only done it for 2 years, but the after effects, I'm on 4 years now after this, because I was laying down in bed for like 2 years. Like and every time I would eat something, no, I wasn't eating meat, and I would just eat something, And every time I would go to sleep, immediately I would just go to sleep every time, and it's still pretty much the same. I have no energy no matter what the fuck I do, like literally none. It feels like there's anchors on my freaking feet. it's it's ridiculous, and the fact I can't even think straight. I can't be myself. It's honestly the worst thing. Like, I have another video of my vegan experience, and I'm actually crying in it, but I'm not even gonna go, like, I could get real sad and be whatever about it, but honestly, it's like the worst fucking thing. I don't care what anybody is saying. And the reason I made this was because I have videos similar, but I wanted to reach out a little bit more about the chronic fatigue syndrome, or adrenal fatigue, and those are the points I wanted to come across, and also why I eat raw food and why I'm eating raw meat, because I know, like, my body came and seen it. Do you know what I mean? I came to it. It was the only thing for me, and it is the only thing that is for me. And to me, it's the optimal. I don't understand why anybody's cooking any food at the end of the day, but I guess to each his own. Yeah, and I'm still tired every freaking day emotionally. I mean, it's not. I'm one of the most disciplined people. Uh, happy person. I'm always freaking happy. I mean, of course, it might not seem I'm super happy, but you can get a gist of it. But I'm kind of being stern right here. Yeah, and I mean, I felt like shit. I still do. I mean, I was vegan for 2 years. I, like, pretty strict, like really strict, you know what I mean? And I remember, like, reaching for bread, like, and I was so hungry I wanted to eat something, and I had, like, not eating meat, no, none of this bullshit. And I was so hungry, I would have, like, some organic bread that I got from Aldi's, and I'd be so starving, and I know, because I've went through the process so many times. I was like, I don't even want to eat the bread. Why? Because if I knew it was a filler, because I've done it. I felt like shit I just didn't have no energy. I felt like shit every time, and I knew eating the bread was just the filler every time, because I'd done it so many times. But I kept fucking doing it and doing it, and but then it came to the point, it's like, oh my god. So you're gonna say, like, oh, did you eat meat? Yeah, by the time I ate meat, it was way, way, way too late. Because I ate meat. I cooked some chicken in the pressure cooker. I ate it, and I never stopped burping after I ate that chicken. I've never burped my entire fucking life. And then once I ate that chicken, I went for, like, a jog after, and then I never stopped burping after that. It's starting to go away. It's not even going away now. I mean, it was way, way worse. Like that. I mean, my body is just, like, struggling and fighting every fucking second. It doesn't seem like it. I'm a calm person, but I can't even be calm. I can't even sit still. It's the worst fucking thing that's ever happened to me. So the point of this video, if you are going to be a vegan, watch out and definitely listen to your bodies. I'm not against it, but until I feel better, because I can't recognize, my whole body's offline, my whole senses, my whole breath, I can't taste anything. It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever fucking done, and I feel like shit every day. I have no energy. I can't sit still. I used to be able to sit still perfectly fine, and now I can't even sit still. Like, my body's just like, Tourette's, or ADHD, or just shaking violently, like, all the time. It doesn't seem like it right now, because I can articulate messages, but I've been feeling a little bit better, but it doesn't even compare. I would say I'm 25% better, but not even, though. But I have a feeling it's just gonna flop over completely, and yeah, it's completely bad. And I tried, like, I went through searching, and no one helps. That's the thing. When you're sick, you're fucked. No one's there. No one's gonna help you. And I'm not just saying this for vegans either. Anybody, if you're sick, unless you really know somebody, you're fucked. People are gonna want a bunch of money to help you. They're ridiculous, and they're not gonna have no clue. You might as well not go to the doctors. They're not gonna have no clue on what's going on with you. They don't even care. Yeah, and I mean, some other side effects: starving all the time. I feel like I'm so hungry right now. I can't. It's hard to explain because I can't feel it, but it's been coming on because I've been eating a lot of meat, like a lot of raw meat and liver and eggs. Like, this hunger, it's so overwhelming. I can't feel it, but but if I had to sense it or like give a guess, which is not really empirical to this message, not to the message, but I just don't know how to say it, but like I feel like my body's just in an overwhelming starvation state, like completely. You know what I mean? I've been laying on the floor for fucking 2 years, and it's not even that I'm depressed. I have no energy to fucking do anything, like literally anything. I've been eating raw foods strictly for like 7 months now. And I've done water fast and dry fast, whatever. I mean, that was probably worse. I mean, whatever. I had my experience, and it's all experience. But honestly, it's like the worst thing. Like I don't feel good at all every second. You know, distracting myself, whatever. And people get into like adrenal fatigue, depersonalization, association, deassociation. Had to get that. Um, there's another one too. Derealization. Every disease is freaking malnourishment in my book. That's bullshit. It's all malnourishment. That's all it is. People are fucking insane. And you know, vegans or even carnivores that eat cooked meat. If you're drinking coffee in the morning or every day, you know, if you see videos of people drinking coffee, that's bad. That's detrimental. These people have no energy. I have nothing against them, you know, but I see people making travel videos or carnivores. I don't watch all. I don't even like watching anything. I don't, but I was so sick. The only thing I could distract myself was watching the fucking screen. Just imagine being so sick, laying on the ground for 2 years and watching the fucking screen, and you don't even like watching screens. I absolutely hate it. It's absolutely awful. And it was the worst experience of my life. It's not depression. It's not emotional. If it was, I would have reached out to somebody. I'm not that stupid, and I'm not stupid at all. I know that. And you know, I don't have emotional problems. If I did, I would reach out to somebody. People saying it's emotions or I'm depressed. No, I have been depressed before, but there was actually something that happened, and I know what it was like. And this is completely different. And even then, you know what I mean, that was eating awfully, and maybe my lifestyle wasn't that good, but I was super young anyway. But there was an event that happened there. Not getting into that, but maybe there will be a different video. And I don't want to make this too long because I know people have a short attention span and whatever. It was just the worst experience of my life, and it still is. I mean, it's like, I, it's one of the worst experiences ever. And yeah, and I just wanted to give a warning. My consolidations, if it matters. Yeah, I mean, I was always hungry before in my life, before I went vegan off just strictly. And then it was just the fact that, wow, I am really hungry. And I didn't even, I would, you know, and I was working out all the time too, running on adrenaline. Like my adrenaline's completely shot. Like when you become disconnected from your body, that's because your adrenaline is fucking through the freaking roof. Uh, it's like, it's one of the worst things to me, because it means you're about to die basically. And I have, you know, felt like I was gonna die. I have got messages I'm dying. I have. And this was, you know, I was only vegan for 2 years, but most of my life I was plant-based. Pretty much anybody on the standard American diet, but they're still getting some nutrients somehow through animal products and maybe some other foods, depending on what they're eating. And, you know, I have chronic fatigue for 2 years. I've never had this in my entire life. All of a sudden, you know, it just freaking sucks to move. I don't even want to move because I don't have any energy. I don't want to do anything. I don't have energy to do anything, even if I wanted to do anything. But I don't want to do anything because it coincides with with having no energy. If you have no energy, you're never going to want to do anything. No, it's not emotional. It's not really depression. People just make up these psychological lies, and it's mostly doctors, you know what I mean? Grieving is something different. Grieving doesn't last forever. Yes, you can feel it, but it doesn't take a toll on your physical body. If you spend too much time or something, yeah, But you know what I mean? At the end of the day, the only thing is to move forward and to look past it. Grieving is a lot different. Some people do grieve, you know what I mean? And I understand that, but grieving's not a long-lasting thing. Uh, it can be brought up again, like over periods of time, but it doesn't last for 2 years, and it usually lasts maybe a week or a month. Yeah, and it's just a bunch of bullshit. Of course, I found out a bunch of stuff because all I did was search fucking YouTube and the internet because that's all I could do. And, yeah, I was literally laying on the time, and I couldn't just imagine. Just it's like being like if you ever got super drunk and like really drunk, or like the next day where you feel like super nauseated from like a hangover, and you're just like you just like can't think, and you're just like all over the place, like intoxicated, because that's what alcohol does, and I haven't drank it, but you probably know that's like a similarity. That's how I feel every single fucking day, just never ending, like it's honestly the worst thing that's ever happened, and I cannot preach that a month. So this video was about chronic fatigue syndrome, which is the same as adrenal fatigue, which is coincides with depersonalization, derealization, deassociation. Your body's running down, it's out of nutrients, you're torturing it, but maybe not on purpose, or intentionally, because you don't know, and you've been fed lies, you've been fed garbage your whole life, and that's why it happens, and it's simple as that. Yeah, and I've never even wanted to hurt myself willingly and kill myself. I wanted to kill myself so many times, even today, because it was the worst. It's the worst thing. It's just literally it's the worst thing, because when, even if you have, especially malnourishment, but if you're on adrenal fatigue, when it comes down to that, and obviously I didn't have all these other diseases, which they're all stem from pretty much the same thing. I can only relate to this. When your adrenals are down, your whole body is completely down. I mean, yeah, when something doesn't work in your body, pretty much the whole thing doesn't work. But once your adrenals are down, it's pretty much freaking game over, because your body's about to die. That's what happens. And you can search it up. There's other people, when you're about to die, your body releases chemicals and it goes in freeze mode, and you're about to die. You can't digest anything. I couldn't drink anything. I couldn't even drink water, and I still can't. It's getting a little bit better. I would shake every time I would drink water, and that's why I would just freaking eat. You know, I really couldn't drink water, and no one even speaks about this. And I was searching all over YouTube. I've heard like Dr. Robert Morris, someone who said, oh yeah, some people's adrenals are down so bad they can't drink water. Yeah, fucking wait till you actually get there. It's one of the worst things. And just shaking every day violently, you know what I mean, as if I had I don't, it's not epilepsy, but seizures or tremors or Tourette's, whatever you want to call it. I did have it, basically. I don't know the medical definitions and stuff, because I don't care, and it's all bullshit and it's all lies. It's pretty much all the same disease, and it always will be. It's so ridiculous. Yeah. And that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Yeah.